Alright, I got a lot to unpack here. For those that saw the original predictions video before I shortened it, I had no idea why my mic wasn't picking up my opening monologue. It was basically along the lines of, I hate that I'm always too late signing up for classes. I still kinda am. There's this image converter site that uses AI tools and always making the pictures worse, and I might have to miss entire races and qualifying for 2025 because I don't have the streaming service they're airing all of this stuff on, and I'm still boycotting another service and all of that. But anyway, I figured I'd just get this out of the way and review my predictions for the 2024 season before I go insane. So, here we go. Prediction number 1 in trucks. Tyler Ankrum will win 2 races. He's gotten close. Had a runner-up finish at Las Vegas and 5 more top 5 finishes, but Christian Eckes had better luck overall. Ankrum's second Truck Series win has got to happen at some point. I could feel it. Prediction number 2. Spire Motorsports will only win with a driver coming from the Cup Series. I was worried that the team wouldn't succeed with full-time drivers in its first full truck season, but they keep exceeding my expectations time after time. It's almost like how Front Row Motorsports is becoming good with their truck team after performing subpar in Cup. Either way, great job for Carruth grabbing his first career win at Vegas. Prediction number 3. Grant Enfinger will finish the season outside the top 15 in points. CR7 Motorsports weren't even a factor before Enfinger came on board, so I was expecting him to have a low year, but he stayed consistent with 5 top 5s and even 2 wins to make the Final 4. Is the magic touch having a good driver to save your team? If so, it's working in the case of CR7. Prediction number 4. Lane Riggs will win more races than Ty Dillon gets top 5s. And would you believe it, Dillon didn't even finish the season. I knew that during the season Riggs would score a win. I didn't expect it to happen as soon as the playoffs got started. And once Dillon got released without any top 5s, I just knew I scored my first correct prediction of the year. And prediction number 5. The Championship 4 will consist of Ben Rhodes, Corey Heim, Christian Eckes, and Nick Sanchez. It was half and half. Rhodes went winless and got eliminated in the first round of the playoffs, but Sanchez was strong enough to keep going until missing out on the Final 4, and none of those drivers I chose ended up being the champion. Alright, next series. Let's transition over to the Xfinity Series. Prediction number 1. All 4 full-time junior motorsports cars will win a race and make the playoffs. Whatever happened to Brandon Jones? It's pretty much the same performance he had with Joe Gibbs Racing, but no wins, less consistency, and no playoff berths after 2 seasons with the team. Well, at least he comes back to Gibbs trying to win some more races with them. Prediction number 2. Stewart Haas Racing will finish 1-2 in a race. Amazingly, it happened once at Indianapolis with Riley Herbst winning. However, my initial vision was both teammates finishing the other way around, Custer first and Herbst second. And I wish Herbst luck at 2311 Racing. Hopefully he'll be able to prove all the haters wrong once again. Prediction number 3. Shane Van Gisbergen will win Rookie of the Year. If he wasn't eliminated from the playoffs after the Charlotte Roval, he might have still had a chance. But either way, Jesse Love had a better average finish by 4.5 points, and I guess that's what matters. Prediction number 4. The Championship 4 will consist of Cole Custer, Justin Allgaier, Austin Hill, and Chandler Smith. Oh man, I was so close. So close! And to add insult to injury, Chandler Smith scored 5th in the standings. But hey, I'm happy for Allmendinger winning with me in attendance, so no harm, no foul. And prediction number 5, Austin Hill will win the championship. You know, despite the fact that Allgaier wasn't the best driver and had the worst average finish out of those in the Final 4, I gotta give him credit. He could finally call himself an Xfinity Series champion after all of the bad luck that has happened to him. Been in the series since 2009, and I was very excited to see him win it. And now, the annual oversized 25 predictions for the Cup Series. Prediction number 1. The front row for the Daytona 500 will not feature a Hendrick Motorsports entry. After 9 years of Hendrick dominance on the front row, it was Ford's turn to take the spotlight away. And while I do still like Hendrick, and still will, it's nice seeing something else happen for a change. Prediction number 2. This year, we'll see 14 different drivers winning a race. We almost tied the record again this year. I mean it when I say that the races are so unpredictable now, you don't know who's gonna win. I mean, we had 19 winners 2 years ago. That's all I gotta say. Either they're dominant all race long, or they're extremely lucky. Prediction number 3. Erik Jones will finish the season inside the top 20 in points. If anything, he was way worse than last year. Only 2 top 10s and a low average finish by 2 points. Since the team switched to Toyota, which he's familiar with in the past, I thought it would be the secret ingredient to more success. Well, it wasn't. Prediction number 4. Only one driver will win for the first time this season. Congrats to Harrison Burton for beating the odds. He was among the worst performing drivers in points and somehow managed to hold on and win after most of the frontrunners wrecked out. And hey, cut him some slack. His playoff performance wasn't even the worst of all time. That'd be Erik Jones in 2019. Prediction number 5. Chevrolet will win the most races, but the amount of wins will be less than half of the races on the schedule. Overall, Chevy won 15 races in 2024. I think that had they not won the Bristol night race in the entire round of 12, I wouldn't have gotten another point. And Larson made up half of those victories. Quite a bookend. Prediction number 6. All 4 cars owned by Hendrick and Gibbs will make up half of the playoffs bracket. We came close to this not happening. Luckily, Truex and Gibbs finished high enough in points at the end of the regular season to claim the final 2 spots in the playoffs. If only the win and you're in rule wasn't prominent, there could have been more reasonable additions. Buescher and Chastain. Prediction number 7. Brad Keselowski will finally win with RFK Racing. I knew this would happen eventually. I think adding him to the team and becoming a part owner might have saved this team from becoming a potential backmarker, and now that Preece is on board next year with the return of a 3rd car, this might be the best opportunity of his career. I'm hoping for a potential first career win for Preece in the 60. Prediction number 8. Alex Bowman will be the sole Hendrick driver to not win a race. He had a losing streak dating back to Vegas 2 years ago. I thought he would never be the same after getting injured in that sprint car accident last year, but he made up for it by winning at the Chicago streets, the same race he finished dead last in 2023. And to top it off, SVG, the defending winner, ended up finishing last this year. What were the odds of that happening? Prediction number 9. 2 races will be called early for rain this season. Oh, don't remind me of the Coke 600, which was the only rain-shorn race, mind you. I had to watch both this and the Indy 500 on 2 separate screens and getting so hyped up about Larson pulling double duty that I thought him getting a speeding penalty in Indy would be the worst thing to happen to him. Then, when the rain approached hard, it just ruined the rest of the day for me. Prediction number 10. Justin Haley will score only 1 top 5 finish for Rick Ware Racing. Guess I was too generous on that. At the time, I was thinking they'd come at super speedway tracks, but he got 2 top 10s at Darlington and Gateway before he swapped rides with Corey LaJoie. Hey, at least he tried, and now he's with a team that can perform slightly better. Prediction number 11. Kyle Larson will successfully complete every lap of the Indy 500 and Coke 600. Why does Mother Nature hate NASCAR, nay, hate motorsports so much? I was, without a doubt, super confident that this would happen. 100% without fail that this would be the prediction that aged the best out of all of them. And instead, not only does rain delay the start of the Indy 500, it washes out the rest of the Coke 600 before he got a chance to get in the car. That was absolutely agonizing to watch as a Larson fan, and I hate that I had to describe it again. Prediction number 12. The amount of wins Kyle Busch will earn in the Cup Series and Truck Series this year will be the same. Well, I never expected him to be in this position before. No Cup wins all season long for the first time, and Childress's performance is going back to what it was before they hired him. I actually feel sorry for him, and I hope something changes so that they can be frontrunners all season long. Hate to see Kyle Busch struggle this badly. Prediction number 13. Zane Smith will finish higher in points than his two Spire Motorsports teammates. Oh, how wrong that turned out to be. Before the season started, I thought Smith would have the best equipment the team had since he was slated to join Trackhouse Racing in the year after. 4 top 10s was not going to cut it at all compared to the 6 his rookie teammate had. Prediction number 14. Noah Gragson will score more top 10s than Ryan Preece. Gregson's 7 top 10s over Preece's 5 makes this another correct prediction for me. Wonder how we'll do over at Front Row Motorsports. My best bet will probably be lower than Preece in points. Prediction number 15. Carson Hocevar will be the highest finishing rookie in 4 races. Considering how Spire Motorsports was last year, I thought it would be Josh Bailey as the top finisher for a majority of the races as well as Rookie of the Year, but nope. Apparently Hocevar was the only decent driver the team had, and while I'm happy for him, I'm surprised Zane Smith didn't fare as well as him. Prediction number 16. Stewart Haas Racing will go winless again. I honestly feel bad for saying that as I revisit this. I had no idea the team would shut down, and when the announcement came out, it left a sour taste in my mouth. A 4-car team that used to compete for championships gone after 2024. Then Chase Briscoe gives the team their final win in the 14-car. A fitting tribute for their last season, and I'm glad I got this wrong. Prediction number 17. There will not be a flip at Daytona. I'm buzzing myself early on that prediction without even playing the second part of it, which was there will, however, be a flip at Talladega. Yes, we did have a flip at Talladega, but there were almost 2 that happened at Daytona, and I'm surprised there was one at Vegas, which I even witnessed in person. Crossing that off the bucket list, along with meeting Richard Petty for the first time. Prediction number 18. Ross Chastain will make the playoffs on points before he wins a race. He didn't even make the playoffs because of this dumb format. I would bet that if it wasn't for Chase Briscoe or Harrison Burton, we would have seen him as one of the 16 drivers fighting for a championship. But it just goes to show that no matter how many points you have, it isn't the main deciding factor on how you clinch a spot anymore. Prediction number 19. Daniel Hemrick will finish higher in points than John Hunter Nemechek. And then immediately after this accomplishment, he gets demoted to the Truck Series. I feel so bad for him. It's almost like after winning the Xfinity Championship in 2021, more bad luck happens to him. Let's just hope he finally gets a win in trucks. Please? Please? Prediction number 20. Jimmy Johnson will score 2 top 10 finishes. I bet there's a higher possibility of that happening. Good God, there wasn't. You know, there was one comment from last year's video saying that it wasn't the team's fault that they did bad and that Noah Gragson sucked. Well, both full-time cars did worse than they did before. And even then, Johnson couldn't even muster a top 25 finish in his own 84 car. I don't know. It seems like the curse from Pocono in 2017 seems to have hit the team as well because it is way less consistent than when he became a co-owner. Prediction number 21. There will be 1 disqualification throughout the season, and it will rescind a driver's win. Turns out predicting disqualifications is way harder than I thought. There were 2 of them, and neither of those drivers that got disqualified initially won the race. I think an easier prediction to get right would be just how many disqualifications will occur. They don't have to be winners, nothing extra, just counting disqualifications, plain and simple. Prediction number 22. Just like last year, the 2024 Cup champion will not win the last race at Phoenix. We're back to winner-take-all territory. I don't want to think that last year's occurrence of another driver winning was a fluke. It happened one time with the current playoffs format. I just wish it happened more often. Prediction number 23. The playoffs will consist of Ross Chastain, Kyle Larson, Brad Keselowski, Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott, Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney, Chris Buescher, Martin Truex Jr., Christopher Bell, Joey Logano, William Byron, Tyler Reddick, Alex Bowman, Ty Gibbs, and Daniel Suarez. 13 out of 16 ain't bad though, and most of them were reasonable too. As a consolation, at least I could say all of them made up the top 20 in points. And for prediction number 24, my pick for the Daytona 500 winner wrecked out of the race because of the big one, but he still ended up winning the championship in the end despite having the lowest average finish for a champion in the Cup Series' entire history, which defies all logic. I think I would have been better off just figuring out the champion because even then, I'd still consider myself lucky. Now, had I had a second choice for prediction 25, which was a champion, it would have been Logano, believe it or not, but I had to stick with my initial championship pick of Denny Hamlin, and unfortunately for me and for him, the drought still continues. I wonder if he's ever going to finally win his first championship, but if he does, FedEx isn't going to be within the witness that moment, and that's a big shame, but hey, better late than never, I suppose. And now my final score, and look at that, it's the same results as last year. 9 correct, no improvement, but I'm still happy with it. And that concludes the 2024 season. We had ups and downs, probably more the latter, and I don't know how I feel about making another one of these for 2025. I've pretty much had it up to here with NASCAR doubling down on the playoffs and then going all big brother and saying this is what the fans want, even though they're really driving them away. But I'm still going to continue watching these races after all the controversy that has happened this season. Why? Because I care a lot about the sport I love. As I say, don't hate the player, hate the game. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'll think about making a 2025 video when the new year hits, but if I do make one, it'll most likely be under a different format. So I hope to be back with a different way of predicting stuff for next season, but I'm not making any promises on that. So that's it. Merry Christmas and see ya.